Hi, so I'm going to take a moment to record over what I had done, just to give a little bit more clear example of what's going on. Here I'm pointing out the direction the water is flowing. Um, and I'll also point out where the water is coming from on her property. I can see in this shot, and I believe I pointed out as well, the direction the debris is flowing, indicating that there at the corner of the house, the water is no longer flowing completely out towards the street. It is flowing back across the house. There you can see the shot previous where the water is flowing across from her property to ours. This is where a significant amount of buildup occurs, and I believe it's due to the narrow portion at the front of the street. If that were to be cleared and the choke point cleared, I believe flow would be much better. And you can see in this shot towards the street the choke point I'm talking about. Here I'm pointing out the flow of the debris so you can see the actual flow direction of the water for the water that does not go towards the street right there at the house. About 25% of what is flowing from her property is just filling up the backyard and essentially pooling. Here I'm going to point out that the two French drains are clear in this example, but because the water is so high, they're no longer draining. And also you can see the flow of debris is that's the path the water is trying to take. It's flowing all the way over there from the fence across the property to the gate on the other side, which I'll point out here in a moment. And again, here you can see the flow direction of the water. And it goes all the way around the deck, or rather the patio, around to the fence where it flows out. And here's another shot of the water flowing out of the gate. Here there is no problem. The water flows fine at the gate. There's no flooding problems whatsoever. And back over here you can see just the quantity of water that is there. At this point I believe it's about 2 inches. When I was standing out earlier it was about ankle deep. And there again you can see where all the water is flowing from her property to ours. And that's just some of the other water flow. I'm showing that it's minimal coming off of the rest of the property. And there you can see about 25% of the water is actually flowing past the rocks into the rest of the backyard, and only about 75% is able to make it down there along the side of the house. Also here you can see how much water is actually in her property and how much is coming from the apartments to her property to my property. There is very little water flow out the front of her house. It mostly comes to my yard.